to ask the Scottish Government whether urban areas will be included in its land reform legislation.
Cabinet Secretary.
Is an ongoing process, and each piece of work we do builds on the legislation and policies that have come before. In our forthcoming bill, we will be bringing forward a set of robust land reform measures whose key aim is to tackle the scale and concentration of land ownership in Scotland. In 2016, we extended the community right to buy and the funding that went with it to urban communities. And our proposals for the forthcoming bill are based on recommendations from the Scottish Land Commission. They will take account of the views of all of those who responded to our consultation, and in line with established process, final decisions on the bill's contents will be made in due course by ministers, and the bill will of course be published on the Scottish Parliament website following its introduction.
Faisal Chowdhury.
I thank the Cabinet Secretary for the answer. People owning land or building that they are not using can severely impact urban communities, especially if the use of this land or building is not beneficial to the community. In this situation, urban communities need to be able to buy this land and use it for the purpose that will benefit communities. Can the Cabinet Secretary advise exactly what action the Scottish Government are taking to ensure urban communities' rights are protected under the land reform legislation?
Cabinet Secretary.
The member raises a really important point there. I think, first of all, I would just want to emphasise that currently we have 4 community rights to buy which exist under various pieces of legislation. There's also the community asset transfers through the Community Empowerment Act, which are currently being reviewed. There's also, and we've made commitments previously in relation to considering compulsory sales orders. Now, that is a really complex piece of work which is still needs to be undertaken. And I know Minister Joe Fitzpatrick is currently undertaking a piece of work on compulsory purchase orders too, which I think will be considering that piece on CSOs. So I think we have the forthcoming land reform bill. As I've said, we will set out the proposals in relation to that. But I think it's also important not to forget the existing rights that are there. We do need to make sure that they're operating as they should do, but there are also these ongoing pieces of work. But again, I'd be happy to follow up with the member and provide him with more information on each of these.